The pride of Brahma and Vishnu had come to an end. Both stood humbly before Lord Shiva with folded hands. They had realized that the infinite divine light whose beginning and end they could not discover was none other than the supreme manifestation of the Lord. Then Lord Shiva revealed his divine form. He is Maheshwar, the great Lord, the supreme Lord worshipped by the gods. His divine form shone with immeasurable brilliance, revealing a glory beyond the limits of all worlds. Brahma and Vishnu bowed before Lord Shiva. Their pride had disappeared, and they understood that the glory of the Supreme Lord can never be fully measured. With devotion and humility, they offered their respects at his divine feet. Seeing them humbled, Lord Shiva compassionately instructed them to abandon pride and seek the knowledge of the supreme truth. He revealed that his manifestation had appeared to remove their confusion and to make the eternal truth known to them. Lord Shiva revealed his supreme nature. He is the eternal supreme Brahman, the all-pervading Lord and the foundation of all existence. Brahma and Vishnu accepted this truth and bowed before Maheshwar with complete reverence. Having understood the greatness of Lord Shiva, Brahma and Vishnu prepared to worship him. They respectfully arranged a magnificent seat for Lord Shiva and his divine family and began the sacred worship with devotion. They offered beautiful garments, divine ornaments, sandalwood, garlands and fragrant flowers. Incense and lamps were offered before the Lord. White umbrellas, fans, banners and chowries adorned the sacred worship. In this way, Brahma and Vishnu worshipped Lord Shiva according to their ability. Pleased with their devotion and worship, Lord Shiva spoke with compassion. He declared that he was satisfied with their worship. Hearing the words of the Lord, Brahma and Vishnu were filled with joy and peace. Lord Shiva then revealed the greatness of Shivratri. He declared this sacred night especially dear to him. Worship performed with devotion on this auspicious occasion brings great spiritual merit to the devotee. One who observes a fast on Shivratri controls the senses and worships Lord Shiva throughout the day and night according to one's ability receives great spiritual merit. The Lord revealed the extraordinary importance of sincere worship performed on this sacred night. Lord Shiva then revealed the mystery of the Shiva Linga. The divine pillar whose beginning and end neither Brahma nor Vishnu could discover was infinite. Through the Shiva Linga, the Supreme Lord is revealed as the eternal and limitless reality. Lord Shiva declared the place where his divine manifestation had appeared to be a sacred Lingasthana. Sanctified by his presence, that place became a holy field of worship. Acts of devotion performed there would bring great spiritual merit. Lord Shiva revealed the great glory of worshipping the Shiva Linga. Its sight, touch, meditation and worship are highly meritorious. Sincere worship can grant worldly blessings and ultimately lead the devotee toward liberation. The Lord described the spiritual fruits obtained through his worship. The devotee may attain his divine realm, his nearness and other exalted spiritual states. The highest fruit is Sayujya, the ultimate union with the Lord. Finally, Lord Shiva established the greatness of the Shiva Linga as the principal form of his worship. Wherever the Shiva Linga is established and worshipped, the presence of Lord Shiva is invoked with devotion. Thus the glory of Maheshwar was revealed. He is eternal, without beginning or end, all-pervading and supreme. Through sincere worship of Lord Shiva and the Shiva Linga, the devotee moves toward divine grace and ultimate liberation. Brahma and Vishnu approached Lord Shiva with humility and asked him to explain the nature of the 5 divine activities beginning with creation. Out of compassion for them, Lord Shiva agreed to reveal the great and profound secret of his own divine activities. Mahadev declared that the eternal 5-fold activity consists of creation, preservation, dissolution, concealment, and divine grace. The first activity is Sarga, the creation of the world. Through this divine act, the manifested universe comes into existence. The second is Sthiti, by which the created universe is maintained and sustained in its ordered existence. The third is Samhara, the dissolution of the manifested creation when its appointed time has come. The fourth is Tirobhava, the power of concealment through which the true nature of the divine remains veiled from embodied beings. The fifth is Anugraha, the gracious act through which liberation from the cycle of birth and death becomes possible. Lord Shiva declared that these 5 activities are his own divine functions. The first 4 govern the unfolding and withdrawal of the world, while the 5th leads the bound soul toward liberation. The devotees perceive these 5 activities through the 5 great elements. Creation is perceived in earth, preservation in water, dissolution in fire, concealment in wind, and liberation in the firmament. In earth, creation is perceived, for the manifold forms of the world arise and are supported through it. In water, preservation is perceived. In fire, dissolution is perceived. In wind, concealment is perceived. And in the vast firmament, the blessed state of liberation is perceived. To administer these 5-fold activities, Lord Shiva possesses 5 faces, 4 facing the 4 quarters and a 5th face situated in the middle. Shiva reminded Brahma and Vishnu that, through their austerities, they had received the first 2 divine responsibilities, creation and preservation. Rudra and Mahesh had been entrusted with dissolution and concealment. But the supreme act of Anugraha, the grace that leads to liberation, cannot be assumed by another. Brahma and Vishnu now understood that all these activities ultimately belong to the Supreme Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva explained that Brahma and Vishnu had forgotten the ancient divine arrangement because of the passage of time. Their pride had arisen because they had lost awareness of the Supreme Lord. Shiva told them that if they had remained established in knowledge of him, such delusion and pride would never have arisen. Therefore, Lord Shiva instructed Brahma and Vishnu to recite Omkara, his own sacred mantra, so that true knowledge of him might become firmly established within them. Shiva revealed that the great and auspicious Omkara had emerged from his own mouth and, in the beginning, directly indicated him. Lord Shiva explained, Omkara is the indicator, while he is the reality indicated by it. Thus, Omkara is intimately identical with Shiva, and its repetition becomes a repeated remembrance of the Lord. From Shiva's northern face came the sound A. From his western face came U. From his southern face came M. From his eastern face came Bindu, while NDA, the mystical sound, arose from the central face. Thus the first component, Ekra, emerged from the northern face of the Supreme Lord. The second component, Yukra, emerged from Shiva's western face. The third component, Emkra, emerged from Shiva's southern face. From Shiva's eastern face arose Bindu, the subtle point that forms another essential part of the sacred Pranav. From Shiva's central face arose NDA, the mystical divine resonance. These 5 components, A, U, M, Bindu and NDA, arose in their 5-fold form and then united together into the single sacred syllable O. The Lord revealed that Omkara pervades the 2 great categories of creation, name and form. Through it, Shiva and Shakti are indicated. From this sacred Pranav arises the 5-syllabled mantra, Namah Shivaya. It is described as an indicator of all knowledge, with its syllables corresponding to the order of the components of O. From the 5-syllabled mantra arose the 5 mothers and further sacred teachings. The Gayatri and the vast body of Vedic knowledge and mantras are connected with this divine source. Through different mantras, different purposes are attained, while Omkara stands as the supreme root mantra. Lord Shiva further declared that through this root mantra both enjoyment in the world and the supreme goal of liberation can be attained. Then Lord Shiva, accompanied by his divine consort Ambika, assumed the role of the spiritual preceptor for Brahma and Vishnu. Brahma and Vishnu approached the Lord as humble disciples, ready to receive the sacred instruction directly from the Supreme Guru. The 2 disciples faced the north as instructed, preparing themselves with reverence to receive the great mantra from their divine preceptor. Lord Shiva placed his lotus-like hand upon their heads and, with compassion, began teaching them the great and auspicious mantra. The mantra imparted by Shiva was Omkara, his own sacred mantra, the means by which knowledge of the Supreme Lord becomes firmly established. Brahma and Vishnu received the sacred instruction with complete humility and devotion. The two disciples repeated the mantra 3 times as instructed by their divine Guru. Along with the mantra, the requisite sacred knowledge concerning its practice was duly explained to them. As their offering to the Guru, Brahma and Vishnu dedicated themselves completely. Their surrender itself became their sacred offering. Having received the teaching, Brahma and Vishnu stood near Lord Shiva with folded hands and deep reverence, recognizing him as the Guru of the universe. They praised Shiva as the bodiless Lord, the formless radiance, the Lord of everything and the indwelling self of all beings. They bowed to him as the one indicated by Pranav, the Lord of creation and the other divine activities, the Lord of 5 faces, the embodiment of the 5-fold divine functions, and the Supreme Guru. Pleased with them, Lord Shiva instructed Brahma and Vishnu to continue reciting the Om mantra as directed by the goddess. He assured them that their knowledge would become firmly established and that lasting spiritual prosperity would remain with them. Having revealed the essence of the teaching and established his disciples in the sacred knowledge of Omkara, Lord Shiva disappeared from their presence. Thus, the great revelation of Panchakritya and Omkara came to its conclusion, with Brahma and Vishnu humbled, instructed, and established in the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. The sages respectfully approached Suta and asked, "O revered one, please explain how the Shiva Linga should be properly established, what its characteristics should be, and how it is to be worshipped according to sacred tradition." Suta replied that the Linga should be established at an auspicious time and in a sacred place. According to the prescribed tradition, it should possess the proper characteristics and proportions, and it should be established together with its pedestal. The sacred installation begins with the preparation of a suitable shrine and a firm, beautiful sanctum. The place of worship should be properly prepared so that daily worship may be performed there with devotion and discipline. The sacred tradition describes different forms and materials for the linga. It may be fashioned from clay, stone, metal, or other prescribed substances according to the form of worship and the devotee's capacity. The place is carefully prepared and purified. The entire setting is made clean and suitable for sacred worship, establishing an atmosphere of order, purity, and reverence. The prescribed sacred rites are performed, accompanied by the appropriate Vedic and Shaiva mantras. The ritual space is thus prepared for the consecration of the linga. The pedestal, or pitha, is prepared according to the prescribed form and proportion. The scripture emphasizes that the linga and its pedestal should be properly united in a fixed installation. The Shiva Linga is respectfully placed upon the prepared pedestal and firmly secured according to the prescribed procedure. Thus the sacred form becomes established for regular worship. The priests perform the prescribed consecratory rites and prepare the sacred vessels used in worship. The atmosphere becomes filled with prayer, discipline, and reverence. Having established the linga, the worship proceeds with the prescribed ritual services. Abhishek is performed according to one's capacity, with sacred water offered reverently to Shiva. The worship continues through the prescribed offerings. Fragrance, flowers, incense, lamp, food offering, and other services are offered to the Lord according to the proper order. The sacred linga is adorned with fragrance and flowers. The devotee performs each service with care, remembering that even a simple offering becomes meaningful when performed with faith. The scripture teaches that the properly established linga is a sacred means of approaching Shiva. The linga is described as conscious and sacred, while the pitha is associated with the Divine Mother. The devotees stand before the newly established linga with folded hands. They offer their reverence through worship, circumambulation, and prostration. Suta concludes that a properly established linga, worshipped according to the prescribed method and with devotion, becomes a means to attain Shivpada, the state of Shiva. Thus the sacred installation becomes the foundation for lifelong worship and spiritual progress. At the proper time, the devotee approaches the sacred shrine with a pure and disciplined mind, preparing to worship Lord Shiva according to the prescribed tradition. The devotee brings the articles of worship, sacred water, flowers, bilwa leaves, fragrance, incense, lamps, and other offerings according to one's capacity. As worship begins, the temple becomes filled with the sound of bells and the fragrance of incense. The devotee turns the mind away from worldly distractions and towards Shiva. Before worship, the devotee performs the prescribed acts of purification and prepares the body, senses, and mind for sacred worship. The devotee remembers and repeats the sacred Panchakritya, Namah Shivaya, with reverence. The scripture teaches that this mantra purifies the mind and leads the practitioner towards Shiva. Sacred water is offered to the Shiva Linga in Abhishek. The devotee performs the ritual according to capacity, with humility and devotion. Milk is offered reverently as part of the worship. The focus is not on the material value of the offering, but on the faith with which it is presented. Fresh bilwa leaves and flowers are offered before Shiva. The devotee offers them with a peaceful heart, remembering the Lord with sincere devotion. Fragrance and incense are offered to the Lord. Their gentle scent fills the sanctum as the devotee's mind becomes increasingly focused upon Shiva. A lamp is offered before the Shiva Linga. The flame illuminates the sanctum as the devotee performs the sacred service with reverence. Flowers and other offerings are presented with humility. The devotee offers not merely material objects, but the heart itself in surrender to Lord Shiva. The devotee performs pradakshina around the sacred shrine and then bows before the linga. The scripture teaches that such worship, circumambulation, and reverential prostration lead progressively towards Shivpada. The devotee sits quietly and remembers Shiva through mantra and meditation. The scripture describes mental repetition in meditation and emphasizes the purifying power of the Panchakritya. As worship continues, the restless mind becomes steady. The devotee experiences peace, discipline, and devotion through remembrance of Shiva. The teaching is clear. Shiva worship is not dependent upon extravagant possessions. The scripture repeatedly emphasizes worship according to one's capacity. What matters is faithful practice, proper conduct, and sincere devotion. The sages now asked Suta about the sacred fruits obtained through the worship of Lord Shiva and the proper practice of devotion. Suta explains that Lord Shiva grants the fruits of worship according to the devotee's sincere effort and practice. Worship performed according to sacred tradition bears its appropriate fruit. The scripture teaches that even a small offering connected with Shiva worship brings spiritual merit when it is performed properly and with faith. A devotee should worship according to one's capacity. The greatness of the worship is not measured merely by material abundance, but by faithful observance and sincere effort. Whether the offering is simple or elaborate, the essential principle is devotion. The worshipper approaches Shiva with reverence and follows the prescribed order as faithfully as possible. The scripture declares that sincere spiritual practice and residence in a sacred Shivakshetra can lead to freedom from sin and progress toward the state of Shiva. Through disciplined worship, remembrance, righteous conduct, and devotion, the devotee moves beyond the bondage of worldly existence and progresses toward the higher spiritual goal. The sacred field of Shiva is described as bestowing both bhukti, worldly fulfillment, and mukti, liberation. Thus, Shiva worship encompasses both righteous worldly life and the ultimate spiritual goal. The devotee progresses through mantrajpa, Vedic recitation, sacred service, and disciplined worship. These practices purify the mind and lead the seeker toward higher spiritual understanding. By continuously remembering Shiva and faithfully performing one's duties, the devotee develops spiritual steadiness and courage to face the difficulties of life. The scripture also teaches that service performed for Shiva's sake is itself a path towards Shivpada. Caring for the sacred place, maintaining it, and performing works dedicated to Shiva are forms of devotion. Steady repetition of the sacred mantra, performed according to one's capacity, gradually leads the devotee towards Shivpada. The practice should become continuous and heartfelt. Suta gives a profound teaching. Actions performed with selfish desire produce their corresponding fruits, while actions performed without selfish desire directly lead towards Shivpada. The devotee who remains devoted to Shiva experiences a deeper spiritual fulfillment that cannot be measured merely by worldly pleasures. Through devotion, discipline, remembrance, and sacred practice, the heart moves toward the Supreme. Sutta concludes that one who worships Shiva with faith, follows the prescribed discipline, performs japa, serves Shiva, and gradually abandons selfish desire progresses towards Shivpada, the state of Shiva. Thus, sincere Shiva worship is not merely a means for worldly gain. It is a sacred path that leads the devotee from righteous living and spiritual purification toward the ultimate goal of liberation.